government in Hollywood. I told you, get your resumes together. I told you. Everybody. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was just. What the hell?
What happened, Sam? What's up, man? What's going on? What's going on? I was calling about the subject. Go ahead. Yeah, when you were talking with the last caller about the human land. Go ahead. There's like a official land in Germany called Black Forest where like all the elites go for the human hut. And they just the German police just shut it down. There's like 2,500 police officers, and the dude who ran it, they call him the German Rambo. Oh my God! So, you know what I mean? So they hunted people over there. The Black Forest. Yeah, they hunt people, and then one of there's some chick on YouTube that survived it, and she said that they just have you like naked with a bunch of kids, and then like
What the fuck?
and then they give you a head start. So you get red shoes, and they give you a head start. So is there? Okay, so it's a game. That's what it is, then.
What the fuck?
And the forest is what? The maze that they put you in, and you're running around trying to find a way out, and if you survive, you out. If you stay, so they got fucking what, bear traps as fucking traps. And they got German. Oh, so that's what these Predators movies is about. It's shit like that. Like, these motherfuckers got all type of little fucking, they can be.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, that's alright. Okay. They open. Yeah, if they open. Alright. Alright. Yeah, if they open. Yeah, I saw that fighter. Yeah, he has to, bro. He has to apologize. Well, he don't have to apologize, but.
God is good. They were just shut down. There's a big, I'll send you the video where it's like 2,500 German police officers, like, so it's like a whole army ran up.
But I was gonna say, I don't think Nick Cannon ain't like that, bro.
Like, you know what I mean? I just want to give you an update on
He didn't know that was gonna happen like that. Hell yeah, he apologized. Hell yeah. I think they had made what's his name? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg did the same shit day in life. NBA, bro. Yeah, Snoop Dogg did the same shit. Cause then people get to him, bro, and scare him and tell him like, hey, you either play by these rules or you don't play. And what they mean by you don't play is they're gonna take you out the game. One way or the other. That's why everybody be so scared, bro. People be scared to talk about this shit and to. You got YouTubers who won't even talk about it, like I was saying the last time we was talking about it, because they don't want to lose their platform or they don't want to lose that income they got coming in. That shit. So they just go with it, bro. They just go with it. Niggas ain't gonna do nothing else, bro. Niggas ain't gonna do nothing, bro. All niggas wanted some shoes and some, not even no shoes. Niggas just want to be on, bro. Get their shit together. Man, I want to go through all these. That's just how I see it, though. Then you got Kanye, bruh. Then you got Kanye. Oh, Kanye West. Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. West. Oh, Kanye West. shit. Yeah, Kanye, man. Yeah, bro. What? Never getting played off my phone again. Facts. Hell no. Kanye, bro. Like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what. Shit, bro. I don't even know. I don't even know. Sound like he like wants to tell something that like it's like he want to tell. You know what I'm saying? He's around Trump. He want to tell something. Talking about they try to kill. He tried to kill his baby. Like he was gonna kill his baby. What was that about? What in the fuck that was about? This is fucking insane. I was just really just talking about all this shit the other day, bro, and just and it's crazy how I don't know, bro. Everybody lying, everybody just want to get paid. But they don't realize that in order to get paid, you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something. You know, like if you want to get big and get on that level, you're gonna have to get. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something. And I think what happens is these dudes get into the game, or they get into this shit, and they don't be realizing. They don't be realizing that yet. Right? Yeah, they got to do something. They got to do a little funny something to get where they want to be. They just not gonna let these dudes get all this money and get all this fame for nothing. No, buddy. Your ass gonna be doing something that you're not gonna really want to do. And it is what it is. But Kanye, bro. Wow. This nigga wants to be the president. He wants to be the fucking president. Oh, they're only VC, huh? I just realized that. I'm not gonna open nothing with that. They ain't gonna give me shit anyway. He said, yeah. Said Harriet Tubman. He dropped out the president race. He said Harriet Tubman didn't try to help slaves and tried to make them work more or some shit. She's stupid, right? He dropped out of the president. I bet he did. They probably made him drop out, bro. That's this whole thing. Somebody called Kanye and was like, bro, if you don't cut this shit out, we're gonna kill you. They probably didn't even call him with like the normal call, like, hey, what's up, Kanye? Like, everything's good, you know? Like, they called him straight up, like, hey, bro, we're not playing with you. We're gonna kill you. If you don't get your ass off this goddamn TV screen doing this crazy shit, we're gonna let your ass have it. That's what they did. That's what they did. Somebody got to Kanye and said, hey, just like somebody got to fucking your boy Nick Cannon, just like somebody had got to Snoop Dogg when he went at the when he went at Gil. Same old shit. Basically. Same old shit. Same old same old shit. But if y'all don't know already about these secret societies and the boule and all that shit and all the and black people in higher powers, fraternities, stuff like that. If you don't know anything about that stuff, then you're not gonna know why they put people like Kanye in front of your face. You're not gonna know why. And I'm gonna let y'all listen to this real quick. And if you're paying attention, Henry Minton. Write this name down. Google it. YouTube it later. Henry Minton. That name will take you to a whole nother realm. You're gonna see some shit that you're gonna be like, damn, bro. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? This is what that nigga Wax was talking about. Did you already do the random giveaway? I actually did Fiverr. I did it literally that Friday. So I gave it to Max. Max actually won the $50, but I'm gonna do another giveaway, obviously. But what I did was I was when I was on stream on Friday, I realized that everybody that didn't win left and hit a dislike. I know you didn't do that shit, 5. But the only person that stayed was Max. Max was in there. I think you and Max was still in the room, and I told Max, I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm just gonna do this right now. Boom, and I gave it to him because he was the only one that kept it solid. He was the only one that stayed in the what's. Everybody literally left and fucking. And I had like 5 dislikes. I don't really give a fuck, but whatever, you know. He said, hell no. Yo, what's up, bro? Yeah, but don't worry, 5. Don't worry, I got you, bro. Don't trip. I got you. We'll figure something out. But I definitely. You know, what's up, Steelers fan? Whoop whoop. I definitely wanted to, you know, reward old bro because he been down for a minute. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's what's up. I had to go to the. Oh yeah. And that's cool. See, that's what I'm saying. So that's cool. And like people like you, 5, I already know you loyal. I ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying. It was just the other motherfuckers that was in here, you know, really here for the giveaway. And once I did the giveaway and they didn't win, motherfuckers get mad. And I was like, oh, okay. So everybody that left, they got mad. They hit the dislike, and I told whoever stayed. I told what's the name. I'm like, hey, bro, you just learned a valuable lesson today. Patience is a virtue, and you don't always get what you want, but that don't mean you act out on it. So the fact that he was cool and he stayed and he was chill and he stayed in the stream. He didn't even win, and he stayed in the stream. So I said, here, boom, here go $50, $50 Xbox PSN card for him. 225 PSN cards. Gave it to him, sent it to him on the Twitter and everything, in his DM and everything, and he was happy, bro. I think he downloaded 2K21. So yeah, that's, you know, I do this shit out of the kindness of my heart. I don't have to do nothing. Shit. Try to get these people to do. What's up, big head? Let me see. Hell yeah, I remember somebody said everybody dislike niggas lame. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. It's a part of the game, you know. I'll take a dislike just like I'll take a like. I ain't tripping. Facts, that's some real shit. Yeah, you know me. Real niggas do real things. That's all that is. Alright, but let me see if I can find this shit that I was looking at yesterday. especially for you, Five. Give you a little bit of information. This type of shit I'll be listening to and looking at. But this, like we was talking about, where you get your Kanye's and all these dudes from, where you get them all from, is from this shit right here, and I'm about to show you. Or let you listen to this shit while I get into these games. Let me show you. Let me let you, hold up, if I can find it. Henry Minton. Trying to find it. I was just kind of deep down in my history. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Damn. Where is it? Let's do it like this. Damn, I know I was just looking at this shit yesterday. No, I'm not crazy. Let me see if it's on my other account. Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. Let y'all listen to this right here.
Many people have asked me to talk about the origins of the boule. Why would you use the term boule, black boule? Why y'all saying that? And why a lot of y'all who's making content is against them? Who are they? How did they get started? Why are they a problem to the black community? Black boule and why
Everybody
they have been a problem. We're going to go through some things. So the black boule itself, we put this up on the screen here. It was started in
Pay attention.
Many people have asked me to talk about the origins of the boule. Why would you use the term boule, black boule? Why y'all saying that? And why a lot of y'all who's making content is against them? Who are they? How did they get started? Why are they a problem to the black community? Black boule and why they have been a problem. We're going to go through some things. So the black boule itself, and we'll put this up on the screen here. It was started in 1904. Now the first Black Greek secret society was formed in Philadelphia by Dr. Henry Minton and his 5 colleagues, okay? Now, you see them on the screen. The boule is an acronym for Sigma Pi Phi, and it was formed to bring together a select group of educated black men and women fashioned after Yale's Skull and Bones, right? Now, the Skull and Bones is another secret society. Many of you know about that. Now, the boule historically takes pride in providing leadership and service to black Americans during the Great Depression, World War I and II, and the Civil Rights Movement. So many people say, what could the boule offer America's blacks in the 21st century? So joining the exclusive secret society offered advancement and perks to the select blacks in return for loyalty to its objectives. Now, they believe in the talented 10th. Now, any of you know about the talented 10th, that belief is the best and brightest of black America, which is 10%, should be running to 90%. It's a very elitist mindset. Is wrong. Just because you went to a school don't mean you're smart, because in this day and time
master's degree don't guarantee you a job. You got.
Hold up. Hold up. Yeah. Wow. Okay. What? What? Huh? What?
A lot of debt, and if you're not smart with the right degree in leadership and service to Black Americans during the Great Depression, World War I and II, and the Civil Rights Movement. So many people say, what could the Boule offer America's blacks in the 21st century?
What up, Celery?
So joining the exclusive
What up, Snipe Guy?
society offered advancement and perks to the select blacks in return for loyalty to its objectives. Now, they believe in the talented 10th. Now, any of you know about the talented 10th, that belief is the best and brightest of Black America, which is 10%, should be running the 90%. It's a very elitist mindset. Is wrong. Just because you went to a school don't mean you're smart. Because in this day and time, a master's degree don't guarantee you a job. You got a lot of debt, and if you're not smart with the right degree, you're gonna have a piece of paper, debt, and still gonna be broke, right? But this is the process. So they say while the majority of ordinary blacks were disenfranchised, the Boule members, they were doing good. This is historically, okay? Understand that. Boule members live a good life in America. They benefit off the system of racism and white supremacy. And they benefit off of your oppression and my oppression. They benefit from that. Understand?
That's white or black. That's not just black. That's white or black.
And all these little societies like that, they all tied in. Understand that. Notice that all the ones, they all know each other. They hang with each other. They don't like other black people. You see, the problem that the Boule have with people like us and Tariq and Yvette and Tone and Jason Black and Professor Black Truth and anybody else that's speaking out right now against this is that we're not part of the Boule. We're not part of their class, and they look at us as a threat to destroy them. Because right now, they don't really have much use anymore, because with the talented 10th mentality, it says you must control the 90%. And they lost control of the 90%. This is why you have Roland Martin, and I got to mention him because he is a Boule member. He told me out his own mouth on Twitter that he's part of the Boule. That's why you see him wearing all this African garb all the time. He's trying to convince you he's black, but we're going to get to that part later, why they do that, okay? So they said that the Archons, which is the male Boule members, and their wives, with 112 chapters, make up the wealthiest group of black men and women on the planet. Now, Archon means demon, but yet, that's what they want to be a part of. And they like to keep that hidden. And say, but who does the Boule really serve? Well, it don't serve the black community. Now, it serves racism and white supremacy. And as long as the black Boule member conform to the rules, the richest will be in abundance, if not come down the hatchet. And they state that black male is also part of the deal. Now, the Masonic Secret Society has a pyramid style like all the rest. You know about the Masons and that situation. They say lower ranks are kept from knowing what the upper ranks know. Now, the early 20th century was a period of reconstruction. We put this up on the screen, and you can see this is the Boule members, right? But I want you to notice on the screen you have two white people, and they're supposed to be part of the black Boule. That's intentional while they're on there. Now, Marcus Garvey, the great Marcus Garvey, the greatest of all time, the father of modern and past Pan-Africanism. He laid down the blueprint, okay? So he had his Back to Africa movement, and it was in full swing. And Garvey represented genuine black leadership. In other words, Marcus Garvey represented that 90%. He represented the streets. He represented the grassroots. Now, W.E.B. Du Bois, the founding member of the New York chapter of the Boule, he stated that the bootleg was created to keep the black professional away from Marcus Garvey. See, understand, any person that's trying to take black people out of racism, white supremacy, and the freedom, that is a threat to the black bootleg. Understand that. The Joy Reids, and now I'm not saying she's in the black bootleg, but usually when you see the professionals, they in it, or they clicked in somewhere with it, right? Now, they say the remaking of the House Negro was necessary to institute a group of blacks who had a vested interest in protecting the elite white system. And they say shortly after founding of the Boule was also Marcus Garvey's time of Back to Africa movement, when it reached 1 million plus people without television or radio. Do you understand how significant and how popular Marcus Garvey was at that time period? He had no TV, no radio, and yet he was popular. He had no Twitter, no Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube, no nothing, no messenger, anything, and yet he was that popular. Now, Du Bois emphasized, according to Steve Coakley, the importance to steal the black professional away from Garvey, because an Afrocentric organization that articulated and captured the black professional would give white people no safe haven in the black community. So the Boule, the remaking of the House Negro, was necessary to build up a group of Negroes who had an investment in protecting the white system and produced by whites having stole this land. This is post-Reconstruction. Now, taking away the articulate Negro, now designed to replace them with organized institutions to keep them away from self-improvement. So we find in the same period as the founding of the Boule, the founding of the 4 male Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, and Phi Beta Sigma, and the 4 female Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta, Phi Beta, and Sigma Gamma Rho, college-based fraternities and sororities. We also find them at the NAACP and Urban League. Now, I know some people on this page may be part of that organization. And you may say, man, I'm not no Boule. I just joined the fraternity. I'm not part of any of that. You may not be part of the Boule. You may not be. Not to say that you are, but I'm telling you what was created, why it was created, and why all these fraternities have ties to the Boule. Not to say that you are. You may be in it, but you may not be tied in like that. You may not be willing to do the things that they willing to do to sell out black people to be in it. So I don't want to just indict everybody just in case you in the fraternity, because some of y'all in these fraternities, y'all get real bothered, like you talking about your kids when you mention the fraternities. I'm just saying. So I say now, Du Bois is one of the strongest opponents of Marcus Garvey, and he was an instrumental tool in stopping one of the strongest grassroots movements in the century. What was Garvey's plan, right? We all know this. His plan was to take as many Africans from America and start a settlement in the nation of Liberia, and then help the new nation produce and control their own rubber crops and other industries and natural resources, okay? So Marcus Garvey, he stated that if the oil of Africa is good for Rockefeller's interests, if iron is good for Carnegie Trust, then these minerals are good for us. Why should we allow Wall Street and the capitalist group of America and other countries exploit our country when they refuse to give us a fair chance in the countries of our adoption? That's the same thing I talk about today. Is that you got China in Africa, the United States won't get out, Russia want to be in there, everybody want to be in Africa, getting all the resources. What
But
about
us,
Black Americans?
everybody want to be in Africa, but your black ass. Think about that. Think about how they have totally removed the African psyche in our mind. We don't even identify with it no more, right? But yet everybody else is there, bruh. Go research it. China is there trying to buy up Africa. Russia is there trying to buy up. America's been there. We already know that. Blood diamonds, bruh.
Why aren't we there even making any kind of business? I've talked about this so many times. Marcus Garvey continues to say, why should not Africa give to the world its black Rockefeller, Rothschild, and Henry Ford? He's right. Marcus Garvey understood that we cannot be a people without any kind of power. Wealth brings power.
Right.
And the wealth is in Africa. Here,
Right.
you're going to be sabotaged.
Right.
Look at all the black men that get money. What happens to them in the end a lot of times? It don't end well. Didn't Eddie Griffin say on Vlad TV that they always got to have an asterisk by your name? Because they either got to dirt you up or destroy you on any little thing. That's why when you black men get certain amounts of money, you need to already have your escape plan out of this country, because eventually they may come for you, and when you even get wind of it, you can say, man, I'm out. I'm not going to put up with these people. Now, they said the two house Negroes made a bet that whites would come out on top and give a certain percentage of these greedy Negroes named Boule members the wealth they stole from Africa, right? So they say what's deep is that they didn't believe in African self-reliance and preferred to have whites give them table scraps instead of making the whole pie. Now, you have to understand that Boule represents the weakest element of black people. Understand that. They are the Stephen of Django Unchained. You understand? That's them. They will protect the master. They will do everything they can. They'll fight with other black people and also deceive other black people. Now, as Steve Coakley put it, he said it took a certain type of, well, he said N-word, to form an organization like this. He said, I mean, we just got our, you know what, kicked during Reconstruction. Africa was divided before our very eyes with the Berlin Conference, most of you who know about that. And he said, and this was 50 years before Rosa Parks. And I said, the question is, why were these black devils like this? That's what he said. He said, the answer may lie in the fact that the Boule is a Greek organization. And I said that on Twitter. They got mad at me. I said, why you got black people joining the Greek organizations?
Right.
You can't make an African organization?
Right.
Or even a black American organization?
Right.
Because Greek, that's, you know, for white folks. What's up with that? Oh, they say, oh, he's super woke. Oh, boy, they was mad at me when I made that comment on Twitter. So, continue, he said, it was about selling out brothers and sisters for power and money. Yes, that's what the Boule is about. They do not want to see us come up. See, all this talk about ADOS.
And what happens, right? T.I. gets some money, Killer Mike gets some money, what's her name, my son and old girl, Tamika Mallory, they get some money from the Black Lives Matter movement, and then they tell you, do this, do that, blah, 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 yeah, go protest. Well, they pocket all that money, and you still in the same position you in. That's why the very next week, when all those kids got killed in Chicago, you didn't hear no Tamika Mallory. You didn't hear no My Son. You didn't hear no T.I. You still ain't heard of T.I. yet. I ain't heard T.I. since they started rioting in Atlanta. You don't hear nothing. But these are the dudes that get the money, P. Diddy's and all that, from the Democrats, and they tell you to go vote or die, and all this shit. They get the money, and that money never trickles down to the inner cities. They don't care. They don't care. And they're all part of this Boule.
Breaking away from the Democratic Party. Oh, no, that's bothering the Boule, because they are the house Negroes. Every last one of them.
See?
Now, white folks. What's up with that? Oh, they say, oh, he's super woke. Oh, boy, they was mad at me when I made that comment on Twitter. So, continue to say it was about selling out brothers and sisters for power and money. Yes, that's what the Boule is about. They do not want to see us come up. See, all this talk about ADOS and black
crazy but true, Five.
Away from the Democratic Party.
It's crazy, but it's also what's going on right now.
Oh no, that's bothering the Boule, because they are the house Negroes. Every last one of them. Now, I say the majority are black lawyers, doctors, engineers, and accountants were members of this secret club. Now, I'm not saying all black lawyers and accountants are part of the Boule. Not saying that. But they say traditionally the people that's in it is tied to that, okay? Now, I say the Boule is another arm of nefarious secret societies that recruit, indoctrinate, and cull for the dark forces. Now, you know, for me, dark forces is the devil, Satan. And there's a lot of Satan in America. You don't believe me? Go to vacation outside this country. I just talked to I was on a live stream. Nyla's in Mexico, and her and Taz is in Mexico right now. And you don't know Nyla and Taz, well, they make content. They're in Mexico, and she said she finally understand what I meant last year, is that when I got out of America, I felt that weight off my shoulders. I felt like at peace. I felt happy because it's a strong demonic spirit over America. And until you get out, that's the only time you really feel what I'm talking about. So they said there are perks galore. Power and notoriety are lying in wait for the easily compromised soul. So these people not only sold out the black community, but they're selling their soul to white supremacy. Understand? And that is the worst part out of it all. Okay, so in the Greek system, the boule was the lower house of the parliament, charged with organizing the affairs of the city of the king. So think about that for a minute, right? Now this is an ancient story. It said the new world order is the old world order. The elite blacks of the boule are culling and controlling their own for a slice of the elite white man's pie. That's what it is. They want table scraps from white supremacy. Let's talk about that. They want those CNN jobs. See what happened? Roland got out of pocket talking about the gay community. Understand? On CNN. That's why he's out of there. He broke the rules. So you can't talk about LGBTO, no, because most of them are tied in with that. So he broke the rule, and ever since then, he's been trying to get in good graces to get back in. You should see him. It's sad. So they say the takeaway, folks, is that black society is modeled on white, and most political, business, and cultural leaders are chosen on the basis of their membership in a satanic secret society. We all have been betrayed by the most egregious fashion. A lot of them in this secret society members have, such idols that they have, touching all aspects of daily lives of black folks, including children. Is absolutely mind-blowing, staggering, and continues to grow. It's estimated 70-75% of all black male lawyers are members of the secret society, Sigma Pi Phi. Virtually every black mayor, congressman, banker, or millionaire in America are members of the secret society or boule.
And to kind of piggyback on that, because you're not going to get in, right? You're not going to get in to become a superstar if you don't sign the right contract or you don't do the right thing. And they're not even going to allow certain people to get into to the industry because maybe you know too much. Maybe you know how to read. Maybe you're smarter than what you are. They talk to you. They know who they're dealing with. That's why they only get these dudes that can't speak. They can't read. They leaned out. How you think these dudes be getting the lean and getting the drugs? They go get it for them. So then they can manipulate you to do the same thing, and then they got they got a generation of kids that they're going to put in jail. And you got black leaders who get paid to make sure all this type of shit happens. To make sure everybody stays in their little, what's the name?
Now, that has been traditionally how it is. Do I believe all of them are part of it? No, but then as I was doing research, I saw Cedric the Entertainer as I was putting boule on Twitter, and he was talking about
facts, right? I'm telling you, Fiber, that nigga Fiber. Look, Fiber, you at where I was at maybe a couple of years ago, about probably like 5 years ago. This shit, your mind is hungry, bruh. I can tell your mind is hungry. Your mind is hungry. I don't have to look. I don't need 100 people in here to talk about this shit. All I need is one. It took me kind of like everything to go live this morning. I really didn't even want to go live. As you see, I don't have no theme. I don't have nothing going. I'm 7-0 and unlimited. But this is the shit right here. I can do this all day. You know what I'm saying? I can give y'all this info all day. Fuck 2K. I can give y'all this info all day long. Y'all tell me how y'all want it. Y'all tell me what y'all want, bro. I will give you the shit all day. I do this. How y'all do 2K? I do this information shit. That's what's gonna bring us together type shit. That's what I'm saying. I infiltrated this shit to bring this shit to this shit. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it or how uncomfortable it make you feel. This is what it is. You know what I mean? This is the school. What? Are old school packs any good? Fuck, I don't know. Go open the pack and find out. Shit. Not to be rude, but I mean, they cool, I guess. I mean, fuck.
Convention and this and I said, oh, okay. And you was all excited. Of course, he's an entertainer, right?
Depends on what you want. Hold up. Depends on what you want out of these packs, bro. So if you, half of this shit is buy now. Except for the shit that you already know. Half of this shit is buy now. If you think they're going to give you a GOAT card out of this, You done lost your damn mind. So it depends on where your team is at. It depends on where your MT is at. It depends on where your VC amount is. All that. Because most of these players are buy now, except for shit like this. He's not a buy now, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He's not a buy now. But I'm saying you're not going to get them cards anyway. You know, you want you a Nikola Jokic point guard, go get him. He's buy now. 20K, 20-something K. This is cheap. All this shit is cheap. Cheap. All half of these cards are fucking buy now. Hold on, cause you interrupted my classroom. All this shit is buy now. All this shit, except for, you know, Shaq and all these Odom, yada yada yada. McGrady's never going to be a buy now, ever, never, ever. But most of this shit is. You don't even need all them top tier cards. All you need is some good solid cards, and you'll blow somebody out, bro. You see my team right here. This is my team. This is my team. I got a center at every position, damn near. I have a center at every position, damn near, except for Giannis. I guess you can call him a power forward, small forward, whatever. But he does play center. I pulled Go Magic when he first came out with MT on single packs. Bruh, you got some good ass luck. Maybe you should pop a pack. Just pop like 1 or 2 and see what happens. I really wouldn't do that shit though. Well, I mean, it don't matter. But if you got the money, it don't matter. It don't matter. If you got the money, do what you want to do. Shit, that's how it go. All right, back to the classroom. Thinking caps back on. All right.
Children is absolutely mind-blowing, staggering, and continues to grow. It's estimated 70-75% of all black male lawyers are members of the secret society, Sigma Pi Phi. Virtually every black mayor, congressman, banker, or millionaire in America are members of the secret society or Boule. Now, that has been traditionally how it is. Do I believe all of them are part of it? No, but then as I was doing research, I saw Cedric the Entertainer as I was putting Boule on Twitter, and he was talking about, oh, look, he said, we had the Boule, 68th annual Boule convention and this and that. I said, oh, okay, and you was all excited. And of course, he's an entertainer, right? So Steve Coakley, the ultimate source on the information of Boule, he said his persistent theme is that the Jewish financial elite has put a phony black leadership class in position of wealth and influence. Okay, this was Steve Coakley said. He said their role is to protect sponsors and perpetuate the hegemony. All right, so genuine leaders like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, who got their place, are eliminated. You know, so people who fought for the 90%, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, anybody who fought for the people, they always been a threat and they always try to take you out. Now, I say, ironically, Steve was hospitalized back in 2012 when he expressed the fears that they would kill him in a hospital. And he said this appearance that's taking place. He was married, had 3 children. They say the late conspiracy theorists, that's what they called him at the time. Steve Coakley had this to say: anywhere there are prominent professional blacks, chances are they're in the blue lake. Okay? Now, I've heard this before. I'm saying this is what I've heard. He's saying that he think Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson have been Boule members among many other high-profile, successful, and moneyed blacks such as Barack Obama, Bill Cosby, Al Sharpton, and Thurgood Marshall. But remember, Martin Luther King could have been in it, but he broke the rules, so he was taken out.
He said, hell yeah, I love this shit. Man, me too, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Maybe when he was in the beginning younger.
You ever need any of this for me, bro? I got it for you.
He fought for his people. He did everything he could and lost his life, you know, for it, right? Now, Malcolm X, of course, he had nothing to do with that. You know, the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad, you already know they don't get down, nothing like that. So they said the Boule, this is something else you need to think. The members of the Boule pose as freedom fighters or civil rights activists on the surface. Hence, I keep bringing up Roland because he promotes himself like that. He says he fights for the people, he's standing up, he talks about racism, etc., right? But at the end of the day, Roland don't be talking about anything that affects them folks. He's not going to offend them, anything. Look at Roland's YouTube channel. Let's mention that. He don't get views. He don't get super chats. Yet Roland leaves TV One and gets a whole nice studio set up. Trust me, I know the cost of that. So where the money come from? Out of thin air? Roland not a millionaire like that. He hasn't been on network TV in a long time. Now, network TV can pay you good money if you like the Don Lemons or, you know, who else? Anderson Coopers or Rachel Maddows or, you know, the main host, Laura Ingraham on Fox. They making money, but Roland isn't there, so who's supporting him, right? So it said, in truth, the elite members of the operating for personal gain, the Boule works in concert with their masters in maintaining a group of Illuminati or white, I call it white supremacy. That's all it is, just devilment and white supremacy on their people. So the Boule is another arm of the Pharisee society. They recruit and indoctrinate, and as we talked about before. And now they said that as continuing, also the Boule, and they talked about this too, because like I said, we talking about this here, like other secret societies, encourages LGBTQ practices, okay? They say this must be done to join the ranks, like the higher ranks. Now remember Tupac. He had talked about Quincy Jones had wanted him to do an LGBTQ act on him, and he was like, hell no. Well, you know how Tupac was. And, you know, they said that. That's the things they would want done to move up in these ranks in Hollywood, the music industry, especially them two industries. I know many of y'all heard that. Remember Pimp C? Before he died, he said he was about to out everybody. That was all, you know, doing that behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden Pimp C, all of a sudden he's drinking lean inside of a hotel, and he isn't here anymore. Okay, he was about to out whoever he was about to out. I don't know who he was about to out. Because he was talking about certain rappers you think that's, you know, straight, they're not. All right? So he said that continuing these perversions are then cataloged and stored on record. Later, if needed, these abuses may be used as bargaining tools in the ultimate game. So they say, what is the ultimate game? Capturing human souls. The enemy may appear to have a white face, but it goes much deeper than that. You got to think about when it comes back to Marcus Garvey, they had made a bet that whites would come out on top and give a certain percentage, you know, to the Boule members, right? And then they said from the wealth they stole of Africa. So anytime you're talking about Pan-Africanism, or even if you're talking about ADOS, or you're talking about, you know, going against these black members of the CBC, you all messing with their checks. Because, you know, in the Boule, they got to perform. And if they do not perform by being that talented 10th, controlling 90%, white supremacy gonna get rid of them. They say, look, you are no earthly good. Why would you even be around us like this? Why? You have no use to us in this society. Okay? So they also talked about Boule membership with some very interesting names. Out of the list, they mentioned Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. He performed the first open heart surgery. Ralph Bunche, he's the former UN ambassador. Arthur Ashe, you remember him, the great tennis player. Urban League president at the time, Whitney Young. They mentioned Martin Luther King at the time, Benjamin Mays, Carter G. Woodson, John H. Johnson, Maynard Jackson, the ex-mayor of Atlanta. Okay, all who died never speaking of the Boule and therefore taking the secrets of white supremacy with them. They talked about Hank Aaron, Tom Bradley, Dennis Archer, the former mayor of Detroit, Elvin Big E. Hayes. They mentioned Bill Cosby, Jesse Jackson, Earl Graves, Douglas Wilder, Lynn Swann, and David Dinkins, the ex-mayor of New York City. Most Boule members of the successful group. As Coakley put it, yes, Boule is in your town. Anywhere there are prominent professional blacks, chances are they're in the Boule. And the great thing about today is we see it. It's not like it's hidden like it used to be. Understand that. If you look at the logo that they have, they say, most say it's a sphinx, right? They said, but most will associate the sphinx with a tail, a solid block stature of our ancestors built in Kemet. But it said, because we have been conditioned to accept without question, we never thought of looking up the word sphinx means, right? So looking in a dictionary would tell you that the sphinx is a third part woman, 1 part eagle, 1/3 lion. As they notice the breast and wings. So when you think of the tall statue in Kemet, does it look like a woman? Well, the breast. What about the wings? The original African name is Hurrium Akhet. If I'm saying it right, make sure I'm saying it right. Which means Huru of the horizon and has the face of a builder. Okay? When we look at the definition of sphinx, it means to strangle, guard, gatekeeper, or protect. You know, all these black politicians, especially them, these black people in media, they're gatekeepers. All of them are gatekeepers. And we have to brand every single one of them as gatekeepers because they're preventing black people from being free. And when we talk about this, we have to push that message that all of them are gatekeepers, just as much as Al Green is a gatekeeper, Sheila Jackson Lee is a gatekeeper, Elijah Cummings, all of them are gatekeepers, right? So according to the Greeks, it said this beast was the guardian of the city of Thebes. So she sat on the cliff on the path leading to the city. So anyone that wanted to enter Thebes had to first confront the Sphinx. The Sphinx would ask one simple riddle. If you didn't know the answer, she would devour you, tearing you to pieces. Okay? So they said the king, Creon, was upset that many people weren't able to enter his city. He consulted a homosexual named Oedipus. Notice homosexuality was a norm in Grecian culture. That's true. If you study that, you know that. All the things they did with boys and all that, and that was their culture. That wasn't African culture. That was European culture. So it said, King offered his crown his daughter if he could kill the Sphinx. So he bounced to where she was, and she asked him the riddle, what has one voice and goes out on 4 feet, on 2 feet, and on 3, with the more feet it goes on period B? Oedipus responded, man, who crawls on all fours as a baby, then walks on 2 as an adult, and walks on the cane old age. After answering the riddle correctly, the Sphinx committed suicide by jumping off the cliff, and Oedipus was claimed the king of Thebes for outsmarting the beast. Okay, so we're just talking about history, etc. Now, they said the statue faced to the east because our ancestors knew the pineal gland is the seat of the African soul, and when the sun rises in the east, it hits the forehead, pineal gland, suppressing the beastly nature of man. Okay, that's just kind of like what the belief system is. Black leaders, and you always talk about somebody as a leader, right? That comes from white America. They give you your leaders. And they say the black leaders white America gave us, right, actually had an allegiance to white supremacy. We know this. This is why you don't want to be branded as a leader. Notice we say, I ain't no leader, because they always trying to label a black person a leader. Oh, you're a leader. She's a leader. No, nobody no leader. We all part of one community, right? So back in the 1900s, when we weren't even 40 years out of slavery, the house Negro, field Negro mentality was still in existence. Most Africans at that time had gone through so much self-denial. The old cliche, if you're black, get back. If you're brown, stick around. If you're yellow, you're mellow. And if you're white, you're all right. Was rampant, and most of our ancestors lost themselves from bleaching their skin, cooking their hair, and speaking civilized in order to be seen different than the field Negroes. So yes, you know, bleaching of the skin was going on way back then. You have to understand that. So they say you also have to realize that most of our co-founders of the black organizations were mulattoes or very light-skinned. They say these house Negroes also felt that they were better than dark-skinned blacks. Colorism, right? And we know about that. A lot of quote-unquote mulattoes at that time period was definitely trying to make sure they had allegiance to racism and white supremacy. And so they went out their way to prove to whites they were different because we were now free. Whites still need to keep an eye on us. They needed an overseer. This is why at the same time as the founding of the Boule, we find that the founding of the NAACP and Urban League, these black organizations were co-founded by, Jewish spies who used Du Bois as a scapegoat. But one of the co-founders of the NAACP, he was also very influential in founding the Boule. His name was Joel Spingarn, okay? And a lot of us didn't know about these organizations. We thought they fought for the people, but a lot of them was tied in. Look at the NAACP today. What do? The NAACP don't do anything. The Urban League don't do anything, but they say they fight for black people. They want to make sure to put someone extremely light-skinned in the leadership. Have you noticed that? No different than this here today. I'm just making sure I point that out to you. So they said that they see that the NAACP doesn't even own the building of the national headquarters is located at. They say with all the loot the NAACP gets annually, they still have to pay rent to a building. That's because they have to answer to someone, which is the white supremacy system, who's the major fundraiser. They say while we were being lynched, raped, they say we thought these organizations would help fight for justice. Later, to find out our leaders answer to the very one with the blood on their hands. That's why a lot of people say Al Sharpton and all them other ones. Like, how is it that they still get to run around and yet Al Sharpton got a job? You know, if nothing told you anything when Al Sharpton got a job at MSNBC, how you fight against racism and white supremacy, but they could offer you a job at MSNBC? What's up with that, right? So they say that if you look at the Boule closely, you find a confusion of values. They say black men who felt their advancement was edged upon positive relationship with wealthy, influential white people, and at the same time, they have an adverse impact on our revolution. Okay? Also stated, Boule means advisor to the king. You got to remember that. Now, the Boule, to wrap up, have taken a sworn oath to maintain the state of white supremacy and to never let you know that whites rule the world. But now the cat's out the bag. We know about racism, white supremacy. They can't do that anymore. But they have a house Negro mentality, and they want to make sure that white supremacy maintains in the earth. This is why, if you look at the Haitian Revolution back in 1804, the Haitians dealt with the house Negro first. That's what they didn't go after the French. They dealt with them first because they know if we didn't deal with them, they're going to come back and they're going to destroy what we're trying to do is get free. Okay? So the Boule, these black leaders, all that, they must be highly rejected. This talented 10th Negro mentality must be highly rejected. We must be suspect of any of them as part of a Greek organization. We must just be suspect until you prove to us that you're not part of anything. As I stated before, we getting deep into way white supremacy works. And some of y'all join fraternities, I know, to say, well, you join fraternities to maybe have a sense of belonging. You feel you kind of person need to be a part of a club, or it may be certain advantages. But think about it. Why is it an advantage to join a fraternity? Why you got to join a fraternity instead of just joining with your people? Why can't you do that? Why have you separated yourself into some Greek organization to do something? I'm saying just think about it a little bit. Why is it that you're getting advantage versus the other black college students that didn't get a part of this organization? I'm just saying, think about this a little bit. Think about what I'm saying here. This is not a condemnation to nobody that's in a fraternity. I'm just saying, think about a little bit the motivations as to why you join, right? So the Boule itself, they get the high paid salaries. They can get their own businesses. They're allowed to be successful in America. I mean, and at the end of the day,
Real
their
facts.
businesses get swallowed up by white people.
This is truth. This ain't no theory.
As long as they keep tabs on black people, as long as they prevent black
I'm gonna play that Steve Coakley next. Hold on.
And they come to us act like, oh yeah, we fight against racism. That's racist. And listen, the white liberals say other white people are racist, but will they change the system of inequality? Will they change the system of you being murdered in the street for anything? No, they won't change the system. And neither will the Boule Negroes change that at all. The Boule Negro must be rejected, and he must have, or she must have, no voice. Kamala Harris is a Boule Negro. Trust me. Did you see the current article talking about she's going to go with her sorority sisters? That's Boule. Because she feel I need to lean on the Boule to help me out in my campaign. But see, it's not enough Boule members to help Kamala Harris. See, you got to deal with the 90%. That talented 10th is not numerous enough for you to win no election. And you have no influence anymore, Boule. You don't. You are, I'm not going to repeat Trump, you are an enemy of black people. You are an enemy of the people. The black Boule. Every last one of y'all is the enemy of the people. And that's how we also got to brand you as well. You're gatekeepers and you're an enemy to black America. Because you in high step with racism and white supremacy. You don't want us free whatsoever. and we got to call you out every chance we get. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is kind of like a longer video. We had to talk about the bootleg because the bootleg is extremely dangerous, and they're only in it for themselves. They get little Negro trinkets while the rest of us get bullets, the rest of us getting gentrified, the rest of us getting a bunch of race soldiers while they living very, very good. And how is it they live so good and their kids live so good in a system and nothing happens to them? But yet how is it they talk about racism but white people don't hate them? Think about that for a minute. Because usually white folks will start hating you when you start speaking the truth. But you can talk about racism all day and
my mom's. And to set the record straight, I represent them. I'm their ambassador to the world. They would never harm me. They would never rob me. They would never do me wrong. But as proven by this false rape charge, as proven by the gunshots, as proven by a lot of the comments you read in the news and in the media, that's not true. I'm just one man. So.
But to back this up with what Tupac said in this jail interview he had.
I'm sorry that they ever did this to me. You know what I mean?
Check this shit out.
Come back like 50 times stronger and better. How do you spend your time in prison? Well, first 8 months, I spent in solitude, 23 hours a day locked down, reading, writing. I wrote a script called Live to Tell. Which is about? It's like a semi-autobiography. It's semi-autobiography on my life. Mm-hmm. Half me, half fiction. It's real good. It's my first attempt at really writing a screenplay. I used to always add things to like poetic justice. I added my own words to poetic justice. I wrote whole scenes in Above the Rim. In Juice, I used a lot of my own words. This was the first time that I actually sat down and write a whole script with characters, real live, breathing characters. And so Live to Tell, I did that, worked out, do a little push-ups, calisthenics, read. I read a lot of good books. I read a lot of Maya Angelou's books, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Listen to music, different types of music, calm my soul. Dionne Farris, she really got me through a lot of this time. Mm-hmm. Does the prison experience provide a source of new material or inspire your creative sources for a new album? Everybody thought it would, Everybody's like, oh man, he's in jail now. I know he's going to come out, he's going to have a bomb album, but it's the opposite. Prison kills your spirit. Straight up, it kills your spirit. There is no creativity. There's none of that. I see a lot of it in other prisons. They got artists in here. They got poets in here. But as far as me, it just killed my spirit. I couldn't write. I only recently started writing. And besides the script was just like flashing back to my own life. So it didn't really take too much for me to be inspired by. But in terms of writing music and lyrics, I didn't have that. I couldn't do it. Now, I just, finished a couple of tracks, so that's good. But it doesn't really inspire creativity. Is your music a reflection of your true thoughts, life experience, anger, or vision? The music that you've recently, especially your Me Against the World album. Me Against the World was all out of my heart, like as close to telling the truth and selling records as I could possibly get. And most of my music is like that. If you look back over past albums, I just try to speak about things that affect me and about things that affect our community. And I try to do it from a viewpoint of the watcher. Sometimes I'm the watcher, sometimes I'm the participant, and sometimes it's just allegories or fables that have a moral or have a theme, underlying theme in it to do it. Like my inspiration for writing music is like Don McLean when he did American Pie and he did Vincent, like Shakespeare when he does his things, like deep stories, like raw human needs. Lorraine Hansberry with Raisin in the Sun. I want to do that to my music. That's how I like to do it. Marvin Gaye, Mm-hmm. Can we talk about some of your lyrics? Sure. That you feel reflect the harsh realities of a young black man living in America, but at the same time, in one sense, it offers them hope and respect. No question. Can we talk about that? Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how Dolores Tucker and Bob Dole and all these other dudes, how they can say like we got gangster music. I never
even classify our music as gangster music. And if you really, I know they haven't listened to my tape. I know somebody geesed them up to go attack Tupac. And now what it does is they attacked a few famous rappers, and now they themselves are famous. Bob Dole want to get elected,
Big
which she
John?
won't be. Dolores Tucker just want to get a name, which she won't find. Cause
hey, got a game Thursday. What we got? We Thursday? It's lit. Thursday is lit. Lakers.
It'll fade. I don't see how she can say she's helping the black community and strike back at us. We are the black community. You know, we are a part of the black community. But as far as the lyrics, you can look at lyrics in my album, any album, and I'll pick out lyrics and I'll shut them up on all their points. You can look at my recent album, Me Against the World, the title song, Me Against the World, where it has lines that says like, can you picture my prophecy? Stress in the city, the cops on top of me. The projects is full of bullets, though bodies is dropping. They ain't no stopping me. Constantly moving while making millions. Witnessing killings, leaving dead bodies in abandoned buildings. Can't reach the children cause they illin'. Addicted to killing and the appeal of the cat pilling. Without feeling, but when they last, will be blasted. Hard-headed bastard. Maybe he'll listen in this casket. Now how does that glorify thug life or gangsterism? I don't see how that does it. I don't understand how that could be, how you can say, you know, we're the cause of all this violence.
Is it true that you were born in prison?
Not born in prison. My mother was pregnant with me while she was in prison. And a month after she got out of prison, she gave birth to me. So I was cultivated in prison. My embryo was in prison.
It's obvious in your music that you have a strong reverence for your mother. Tell us about that relationship.
It's, you know, that's my homie. My mom's is my homie. We went through our stages, you know, where first we was mother and son. Then we was, you know, when we was born, it was mother and son. Then it was like drill sergeant and cadet, you know. Then it was like dictator, little country. After I moved out and I was on my own, came back and was like some prodigal son type of thing, where now, you know, she respects me as a man, I respect her as a mother for all the things, all the sacrifices she made. So she's really my friend. You know, it's like, it's not just me. I think all young black males and all Hispanic males, really all males period, but especially from that ghetto lifestyle, we have a deep love for our mothers because they usually raise us by themselves, you know, so you always feel closer to your mouth. Even back in the day, they had, I always love my mama. It's been going on for years.
Right. Do you feel for those mothers who lost their children and babies to senseless gang and youth violence? Do you have a message of consolation for those mothers?
Yeah, I do. Like with Yummy, when he passed on, you know, I know that hurt his family. I know it hurt the family of the female he supposedly have, you know, shot. Just recently, this lady wrote me named Clovis Benjamin from San Francisco, and she's a man woman, and she was writing me, telling me about her son. Her nephew had just been killed, and the day before he died, he was like, I'm going to get Tupac's new tape. So she wrote me to tell me, you know, they played Dear Mama at the funeral, boom, boom. And that touched me, you know, and I was like, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? Let's do some concerts. Let's do some organizing. I was like, if she's strong enough to keep going and make a difference, then I can be strong enough to make a difference. And that kind of focuses me back on what I should be doing and not let me, like, veer off back into the lifestyle I was living, because it's real easy to do that. But I definitely feel for the mothers. I think that what we need to do as a community is start taking control back of our communities. You know, I understand it's always going to be drug dealing. I understand it's always going to be violence, but we just need to regulate it so that we can at least have like a peaceful zone where we can all be cool, you know, or else we're going to all die. We're going to all be destroyed, because soon the government is going to make the young black male and the young Hispanic male the prime target of their all their resources, and all their jail sentences and all their powerful weapons and technology will be the enemy. So unless we stop it now, regulate it, we're going to end up crashing against the wall.
I'm kind of scared.
Has your record company, Interscope, been supportive of you since you're in prison?
No doubt, very supportive. They let me pick my songs, pick the singles. I got another album that I had completed before I went to jail. They keep that hot, keep it, you know, mixing and getting it ready for release. I'll be releasing another album probably December. of this year. They've been real supportive. I even had one of them come up, one of like the top people at the record company come up and see me. They send their love, their support, whatever I need, money, whatever. So they stayed down. That's why I'll stay there.
Why do you think your album is doing so well and continues to do well even though you're in prison? When others who are out here promoting their product, and this is not to cast shadow on any other rapper, but it appears that you've become more popular in your music since your imprisonment.
I don't think really the album did as good as it could have been doing, because I ain't getting no awards. MTV ain't giving me no awards, getting no Grammys, you know what I mean? I think I dig real deep with this album. But as far as the success that we do have, I owe it all to my fans. I owe it all to the people who supported me. I think the reason being is that in every album, if you go backwards, people just get turned on to me. If you go backwards and you listen to the other albums I've put out, it was a prophecy. This album, Me Against the World, was made before I went to jail, before I got shot. And all I'm talking about is going to jail and getting shot. So it was a prophecy. So when the album comes out, then you hear about what's really going on in my real life. I mean, I don't have to say I'm keeping it real. You can listen to the music and go, whoa. You know what I mean? He said that. If I die tonight, he said that. In Outlaw, where I said some dudes in a mask coming to shoot me, I said it. You know what I mean? And it ain't easy. I'm talking about being in jail. You know what I mean? And the judge not letting me out on bail. I mean, I said all of these things, and then it happened.
How many records have you sold to date? Me Against
Over 2 million. Over 2 million. We're going for 3 million now. Hopefully 3 million we can make with the support of our fans. I also feel like it's not glorification. No matter what these people say about me, my music does not glorify any image. My music is...
It was 2019, and the Helpful Honda guy came into our EMT class.
Would it be okay if we paid everyone's
spiritual if you listen to it? It's all about emotion. It's all about life. And with other rappers, not to diss nobody, but where other rappers might, paint a perfect picture of themselves, or, whatever, I tell my innermost, darkest secrets. I reveal myself in every one of my records, from Dear Mama to Shed So Many Tears. I tell my own personal problems, and people can relate to that, I believe. And that's what makes it sell the few copies we do sell.
You realize that you have a lot of fans out here, regardless of what has happened. And even though you haven't won any awards, you have in the hood many fans, and you have many fans across the board, so to speak. Now, from what I've gathered, there's a public adoration, not only for your music, but for you as a person, which I found to be very interesting, set apart from other rappers that I comment on and inquire about. Now, and they're all eager, your fans are eager to hear from you in prison. They want to know how you're doing. Just like you receive letters from all over the country, from kids, from their parents, so forth. What kind of message would you share with young people? I know you've commented on gangster rap, and I understand it. I understand where you're coming from with it. But what are your comments on that subject for young people, for your fans, for 11 or 12 or 13-year-old that listens to your music?
First, I'm going to say, I don't feel all the adoration or whatever that comes from the fans. I feel like a lot of people put different standards on judging me than they will put on the next man. One rapper can say,
concert night, what do you guys got? Go with faux pas. Big brains. What is that? Everyone loves fun.
I'll kill you. I'll cut a lot of people out. First, I'm going to say, I don't feel all the adoration or whatever that comes from the fans. I feel like a lot of people put different standards on judging me than they will put on the next man. One rapper can say, I'll kill you, I'll cut your heart out, I put this gun to your pregnant belly and blah, 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 and you get all love. All I'll say is, you know, we don't need to be letting these BITCHs run our life. And I'm hating females, you know what I mean? And this other person could be the man. So I don't feel it. I think I've been attacked more than I deserve, but that's all good to me, because I always been a fighter, always been a soldier, always been a struggler. Can't nothing stop me but death itself. You know what I mean? So as far as what I have to say to other people, I don't even want to come off like I got the answer, I'm finna teach y'all. It's not like that. I don't got the answers, but just from where I'm sitting at, I can see the only reason I ever came out is said, when I said I was living the thug life, believe me, it was all real. You know, and as sure as thug life is tattooed across my stomach, it will always be a part of me. But thug life is like the 12th grade. Some people graduate from high school and don't seek to do anything else, so they continually live the thug life. Some people want to go to college, and when they go, hold on, let me pick up Yummy.
Get ready, roll. Some people go to college.
Yeah, like high school is thug life. You know, you graduate from 12th grade, and you can live your whole life with a high school diploma, but you're always going to be missing something. That's where I felt like I was. Thug life was always going to be real to me, and it still is real to me, because as long as the factors that make thug life are there, thug life will be there. But I also felt like I wanted to go to college, not college in a school or university, but college in life. I wanted to move up. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to expand. I wanted to grow. And that's what this was all about, by saying, you know, no more of that. I want some more of this. I want y'all to see this. You didn't like that? Well, you definitely ain't gonna like this. So what I would tell, you know, anybody who would listen to me is that, you know, you gotta start peeping game. Peeping the game. The game is the game of life. You got to start peeping how they doing it. And if you see it, you can see the little signs that says that the guns are turning away from, you know, Europe and Russia and Iran and Iraq, and they're turning to us. Because look how they're doing our music. You know, you've never seen in no time in history where they've put so much attention on some music. You know what I mean? And made it like we are the cause of all these problems. You can look at it with a 3 strikes law. You can look at it where they're building more jails. They're starting to sell jail space. Yeah. You know, jail is big business. Believe me, I'm in jail. I see the big business. They charge you for your telephone.
French fries, ice chop.
That's crazy. This was before. This was in 90.
They charge you for disciplinary problems. Jail is big business. You know, you can feed a whole town off one jail. This jail is in the middle of a town that feeds everybody. Everybody works here. This is the main income. So if there was no criminals, nobody would work. You know what I mean? So if we don't start peeping that, we're in trouble. Also, I know when I was young, the way they described jail is like, you know, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't wait to get to jail. Straight up. I mean, I was scared and everything. But
3 huts in the car?
No question. It was just that's where you get the game. That's where you got more soldiers at that build you. But now that I'm here, this is not the spot. I know everybody go to jail, come out and say, this ain't the spot. This is not the spot. You got somebody that tells you when you can get up, when you can shower, when you can do this, when you can do that. You know, they can speak to you any way they want to, and you got to accept it. You can die here. You know what I mean? Just yesterday, a dude was murdered. He wasn't in here on no murder beef. This dude was in here on a drug beef. You know, he's gone. He's dead in jail. You know what I mean? By another prisoner who had life. He had nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So when you start looking at it like that, you'll start seeing that it just don't weigh out to be in our favor. So we need to start figuring out another way. Now, if we do want to live a thug life and a gangster life and all of that, okay. So stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something, they was that tough. All right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out of here. Let's do something. But they don't want to do that. They want to pimp our communities and portray this image that they know we all can't survive and make it. And that's what I saw. Even though I was surviving in the thug life, everybody that was trying to be like me was going to jail. And then finally I went to jail. Even though I wasn't getting shot up, they was all getting shot up. Then I got shot up. And I started seeing, damn, you know, it is my fault. It's not my fault where I made it happen, but it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. Now, if I was dumb and I was ignorant is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Now, if I was dumb, it'd be cool. It wouldn't be my fault. But it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. I do have another way I can say this. It doesn't mean that I don't feel that way no more. It just means that let me be as smart as them or smarter.
All right, knowing what you know, What do you think about youth and gang violence in America, especially in the black community?
This selenite gray is so pretty, isn't it?
Wow. Jim, could you pop the hood for us?
There she is.
Turbocharge, right?
Yes, it is.
Jim, could you kick the tires?
Oh, yes.
Could you change the color inside the car?
Oh, sure. How about blue?
That's more cyan, but jump in the back seat, Jim. Act like my kids.
And Hispanic community.
It is. It doesn't mean that I don't feel that way no more. It just means that let me be as smart as them or smarter.
All right, knowing what you know, what do you think about youth and gang violence in America, especially in the black communities and Hispanic communities? Youth and gang violence.
I think I'm gonna get a lot of flack for it. I think gangs can be positive. It just has to be organized, and it has to stay away from being self-destructive to being self-productive. I think this country was built on gangs. You know, I think this country still is run on gangs. Republicans, Democrats, the police department, the FBI, the CIA, those are gangs. You know what I mean? The correctional officers. I had a correctional officer tell me straight up, we the biggest gang in New York State. Straight up. You know what I mean? So, this whole country is built on gangs. We just have to not be so self-destructive about it. Organize, you know.
But the violence.
The violence, but it's violence in America. What did the USA just do flying to Bosnia? We ain't got no business over there. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. How can they tell us not to have gang? You know what gang violence is? Mostly, and the people don't want you to hear this. Somebody shoots your family member. So of course you retaliate. You know what I mean? Same thing the U.S. does, except nobody even shot their family members. You know, they see somebody bomb a school and all these people get killed, so the United States feel like, ooh, that's messed up. We got to go show them who's the real killers. That's the same mentality these gangsters get. You know what I mean? So until they stop that mentality, we won't stop. Or they won't stop. Because they watch this country to see what they do. America is the biggest gang in the world. You know what I mean? Look at how they didn't agree with Cuba. So what was the cut them off? That's what we do in the street. We block things off. I want to say stop the violence. I want to say the violence ain't good. And
Why can't you say that?
Because that's not realistic. I know it's not good. If anybody speak up against violence, it'll be the brother that got shot 5 times. I got shot twice in my ear, all up in. Trust me, violence ain't cool. And they know violence ain't cool. Ain't nobody out there with a gun saying it's cool to be shooting people. It's just, you know, it's certain situations where there is no way out. But there are situations where we can find a way out. But until we find that way out, we can't say not to live this lifestyle. Now, too, we as black men, Puerto Ricans, whatever, till we stand up and start taking control of our communities, we can't get mad at anybody who stands up to do anything. You know what I mean? So I believe that it's the community that needs to do something about it. I do believe that there's a piece of liability on the drug dealers and the gangsters and the gangs and all of that, but these are not scholars. You know what I mean? We pay taxes. We pay taxes. This government is not doing anything to stop it. When the people in LA, after the rebellion, when we stopped and there was a truce, nothing happened. Did we get any jobs? No. Did we get any relief? No. But every time there's a flood, an earthquake, or a thunderstorm, America will give mad millions to somebody because their house broke down. They don't care if we stop the violence or not. They don't care about gang violence. You know what I mean? Every time that Bosnia gets shot up, any place gets shot up, they send them a whole bunch of millions of food and packages from Somalia, everywhere. Everybody getting food but us. So we don't want the gang violence to stop. So they can't ask me to tell them to stop the violence, because I can't tell nobody who's hungry what to do unless I'm ready to feed them. Then I'll tell them what to do.
How can gangs be positive in the community?
Regulate our community. If you got somebody dealing drugs in the community, make them pay for the community center. Make them have hours that they can work on that block. You know what I mean? And if they don't want to listen, then you turn against them. Be security in your own neighborhood. You know what I mean? If we so strong as gangs and as hustlers and as G's and as thugs or whatever, it should be no rapes, there should be no violence, there should be no gunshots in our community unless we the ones sparking it, unless we doing that to somebody that's trying to infiltrate or break down our community. You know what I mean? All this money that we make in the streets, we should bring it back and turn it back into the community. We need to have block parties again. We need to have leagues, you know, summer leagues, and football teams, and basketball teams. We need to start taking care of our own. That's how it can be positive. It can be positive when we start, you know, sending these young G's to school, sending the younger G's to college. You know, let them come back and build something.
If this interview was conceived with you in mind, and to offer an opportunity for you to speak to your fans and anybody else. Now, do you have any comments on setting the record straight, friends or foes?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like the Spanish dude in here always tell me, I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends.
So guys, I'm going to break something down for you guys so you guys can kind of see a little bit behind the scenes on friends.
You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side and people on the other side. I ain't going to blow up nobody's name. But I will say that as far as that Vibe interview, and everybody was saying, you know, everybody that was involved knows what happened. And everything is there. If you got a brain, just read everything over. And read my reply, read their reply, read what people say. Watch people. Because you can fake for a long time, but one day you're going to show yourself to be a phony.
That's for true.
You know what I mean? And that's what these, you know, a lot of people are doing these days. Think back. Did you think about all the people that you've seen me put on stage? Think about all the people that I put on, that I got into this game, that I showed how to do this. And think about what they're saying now. That's not keeping it real. As far as foes and enemies and all that, I really don't care. My only fear of death is coming back reincarnated. You know, I don't have no negative feelings towards nobody. It's not like I'm gonna get out and go shoot somebody up. You know what I mean? I know who shot me. I don't care about telling the police none of that. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm still here. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm untouchable. I can be killed as soon as I get out of here. You know what I mean? But I go cool. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I go, you know, screaming West Side and I'm all good. You know what I mean? But what I want people to know is that don't support the phonies. Support the real. You know what I mean? How can these people be talking about how they so real and they don't care about our communities? How can they be talking about what they, all this, you know, the hood, they don't care about our communities. You know what I mean? Listen to the words that people say in their lyrics and tell me if that's some real if that's real to you. You know what I mean? Listen to what they saying. Don't just bob your head to the beat. Peep the game. And listen to what I'm saying and hold us accountable for it. You know what I mean? And really, you know, whatever. If somebody else blow up and I fade out, that's just how it's supposed to be. That's fate. And I don't got no problems with that. I don't got no problems with nobody in the whole industry. I wish everybody success. It's enough loot for us all to make money. But I will say, I already took 5 bullets. And if I can help it, I don't plan on taking no more. You know what I mean? And I would tell each and every person out there, don't forget about that clicking up thing, you know what I mean? Be to yourself. Stay to yourself. Trust nobody. Trust nobody.
After dark.
You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends. My homies, people I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything turned on me. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that. Fear is stronger than love. All the love I gave didn't mean nothing when it came to fear. So it's all good. But I'm a soldier. I always survive. I'll constantly come back. You know what I mean? Only thing that can kill me is death. That's the only thing that'll ever stop me is death. And even then, my music will live forever.
On October the 5th at Madison Square Garden, they're hosting a major benefit concert for aid, which will consist of all the major rappers in the music industry. I understand that it's for a good cause, and they hope to raise a lot of money from that. Is there anything that you want to say to the public about the concert and wishing them well, or a message to the youth about AIDS?
That's a big one. All I can say is people are resilient. We're very strong. There have been so many diseases and plagues that have come throughout history to try to stop us from continuing. We can beat this, but we have to be smart. We have to be responsible. I mean, I don't know what the future can hold. It's not just about putting a condom on. We need to put a condom on every time. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it can happen anyway. So, really, I wish them the most success in their program. I've heard they was attaching me to the project, which is no problem. You know, I wish them success with it. It shouldn't have took us so long to come forward. So I'm glad that somebody did. Us meaning the rap community. So I'm glad that somebody did. I heard Jodeci's doing a lot of good things with that. Proud of them. You know, they can really make a difference. And everybody involved, I hope we make a difference. As far as me, again, you know, AIDS is a killer. I hope we put on condoms. I hope we stop it. But some of us might not even make it to live to get killed by AIDS. That's straight up.
In conclusion, if we're fortunate in being granted permission to host a benefit concert here at the prison against youth violence, with you and your friends in the entertainment industry, would you and your record company support this effort?
I don't know. I can't speak for my record company. I'm sure they would, especially if they can make a buck out of it. Mm-hmm. But not that they're greedy, but, you know, it's business. You know what I mean? I'm sure we could do a video or something out of it. I would love to. You know, this prisoner gave me so much knowledge and it put me on such a right track that I would like to do a whole tour of prisons and youth centers.
I asked your punk ass when you went over there to buy some motherfucking dope. And I wasn't standing out here for my help. So you disregarded the concern of me and my friends out here. So I want to ask you again, man. Do you think I'm fucking joking when I called your ass over here? What's in your pocket? Set that shit down. I'm not robbing you yet. But what you gonna do is you gonna split what you got right now just to be able to walk on away from me. Now, if you think I'm fucking kidding, what it feel like it have a bullet in your belly? Because it's gonna put you on the ground. And if one don't put you on the ground, I think you might even go for a double up. Now, what you think? So why you want to do that? He said he want to split the stuff that he got. Well, split it. And I'm going to let you walk your motherfucking ass on down the street. But the next time you bring your silly ass down here, you better goddamn me acknowledge the people out here, standing out here, because we ain't out here for our help. Everybody's out here. Until I burn you, then you don't got no right to goddamn me disregard me out here. This much motherfucker ain't no better than me. He's the same as me. So you split that down, and you go about your business. I see you. You have a good day. All right, buddy? All right. I'll holler at you. So I try and talk to people. I try and talk to them good, man. I just don't just automatically take nothing from them unless it's supposed to be took. If I ask you a question, I say, dog, you here to buy some dope? You say, yeah. I say, well, I got it. You say, well, I don't want it from you, man. I don't know what you got. I got the same shit he got. Fuck you mean what I got. So when you pull a gun out, and you let him say, okay, you don't want to believe me then. You want to holler at my buddy Charlie right here? He'll talk to you, though. I can't talk to you like he can. But he can get some motherfucking response out of you. And I bet you can get a positive response. What you think? You know, so we going to start off new today. What's your name? And they call me Larry. Big Larry. It's my buddy Charlie. He only come out when he asks me, to go meet people. So today
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Get into some real.
Sire Archon, and the organization Sigma Pi Phi. The head man of the organization is called the Grand Sire Archon. A-R-C-H-O-N is what a member is called after they have been inducted. They're an Archon. He was the Grand Poobah from 1908 to 1909. Then became Grand Sire Archon Emeritus. The Grand... Go on. Brother Omar. 240 degrees off balance. Oh, brother, this is deep. This sounds funny, but if we don't get together and kick some ass, they're going to cut all us open. We all going to be walking around like this here. We act a little like this now, only we do the bunking. Now, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. This I thought was interesting. Almost sounds accidental. Like Yale Skull and Bones, secret society to which George Bush belongs.
The 50's over, right?
Yeah, it was over yesterday.
So that's just she gonna buy these from me. I'm like, you can get these.
It's in your nature to push yourself. It's in our nature to push you further.
They don't like them.
Today, in our discussion of minority groups, we have with us two guests. One is Minister Malcolm X. Shabazz, one of the top leaders of the Nation of Islam, or the so-called Black Muslims. And we also have Mr. Herman Blake, one of the teaching assistants in the course. We will discuss today some of the goals and some of the strategies of the Nation of Islam. And I wonder if Mr. Blake might start it off by asking Mr. Shabazz a question.
Minister Malcolm, the thing that I thought might be good for starting it off is to talk about one of the most pervasive beliefs in the general society about the nation.
You know what? Even better.
Conspiracy to destroy black boys.
Hold on.
There's no topic that concerns me more than the one on the conspiracy to destroy black boys.
Damn, I'm trying. Man, there's so much I want
welcome to Southern California K15, Brother
There's
Steve
literally
Kobe.
so much I want to play. Hold up. Hold up. I think I'm gonna do this.
Oh, she got the right size, because I can fit this shoe. Did she boo-boo somewhere?
Who, Chloe? Oh, he's left. Nice. Damn, where is... Alright, this is John. Where my boy at? John X. Here we go.
Since last and put down. Thank you very much. I'm going to be talking about a subject that has no end, because the subject keeps coming back to us and we keep misunderstanding it. But before I start, permit me a brief personal note, because since I've seen you last, I've passed a landmark I never thought I would reach, because in my radical young days, picketing and challenging police, I never thought I'd get 60
But I reached my 80th birthday since I was I came home to do some serious. Threw away the head. We made sauce and other things out of that. Sometimes we threw away the skin. We fried that and put some cornbread, mixed with a little onions, and made crackling bread. All these things I can't eat anymore, and yet I had a wonderful time at home. Then went to Atlanta for 5 more days. Can't use those, look. Colleagues and friends. I didn't think about being 80 because I work at something 7 days a week. And nothing would bore me more than protracted rest.
My whole life, I'm trying to become an action hero. Die Hard is the funniest, most action-packed show of the year.
And we never get to.
Welcome to Fort's Camera Action. So today, we're going to be looking at the origins of the term boule. Now, if I go onto the internet and do a quick search, it will tell me that the first definition is a metal ball used in the French game of boules. It also goes on to say the second definition is a round loaf of crusty bread. Now guys, I'm not going to be talking about the boule sport. And I'm not going to be talking about boule crusty loaf of bread. What I'm going to be looking at is the not so popular definition of the word boule. Boule, ancient Greece, a citizens' council appointed to run daily affairs of a city, transliterated as voule or boule from Greek, which takes us back to ancient Greece. Now this term was coined amongst the ruling elite, whereby they handpicked certain members of the public, gave them certain perks, carrots, and privileges, so that they would keep the masses in check and make things easy to govern and control for the elite in the Grecian society. Now, saying all of that to say this, before I start this compilation documentary, I was going to post it many times, but every time I was going to post it, I'd see something new. So that's why it's been publicized and withdrawn, publicized and withdrawn, publicized and withdrawn, because I've still been tweaking it behind the scenes. Also, what's very interesting, as we look at the terminology boule, which we now know is an advisory to the ruling class so that they may better govern their citizens.
Interestingly, Henry VIII had a jester who would play fool to catch wise and report back information to Henry.
Now in the film 4, we see a very interesting character played by Idris Elba, who acts as a gatekeeper for and his father Odin and and his mother, Freya. He is a gatekeeper to stop anyone causing harm or discord to the society of Thor and his family. Similarly to Wanamus in Spartacus.
The new Cadillac CT4 and CT5, the ultimate in iconic luxury.
Amen. Deception is so strong right now that if you don't have an anchor in the word, you're going to fly off. You're going to float off, boy. There's too many philosophies to get involved in now because everybody's a God. So everybody's a God and every God has their own doctrine. So people have their own philosophies about God and their life. So you have to have an anchor in the word of God. Amen. Say an anchor. Amen. That anchor means, what is an anchor for? It keeps you from flying off. Keeps you from floating away. Keeps you, stable, solid. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And that's what we need in this last hour, because the mark of the last. Look over to Matthew 24 real quick. Let me go there first. Give you some foundational scripture. Hallelujah. Amen. The mark of the last days is deception. Say deception. Amen. The mark of the last days is deception. This is why Jesus continued to tell his disciples about deception. Because deception would be this mass deception too, not just individual deception, but how the masses would be deceived. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so what I'm really going to get into is called end time or New World Order programming. In other words, we're programmed to accept things and we don't really realize it. Amen. We're going to talk about that. But look at Matthew 24 verse 11. You there? It says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And he's talking about when the disciples asked Jesus about the signs of his coming. He said many false prophets will rise and they will deceive many. Are y'all there? Another scripture says that even the very elect might be deceived. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? That means those who was living right, trying to serve the Lord, could possibly be deceived. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I really believe we're further in the book of Revelations than preachers are preaching. Preaching of Revelation doesn't preach well, because it causes people to realize that what we are trusting in is going to be gone at some point. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so because it doesn't preach well, it doesn't give people a sense of security that preachers stay away from it. That's why you can hear 20 sermons on prosperity and 100 sermons on gifts and those things that make people excited, but you hear very little on hell and judgment. And are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And so that's why most Christians don't even have no clue about what the book of Revelation is about, because they never heard it ministered on. If they did hear it, they took one scripture out of it to prove something that didn't have nothing to do with Revelations. But the whole point is we are in the end of the book. We are in this last book, and it's funny how the more we get closer to Christ coming, the less people are talking about this last book. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So the Bible says that the sign of these last days is false prophets will rise up and deceive many. Say many. So that's mass deception. Say mass deception. Now this is not something that happens on a individual level. This is like something that the whole world. The Bible says that when the Antichrist reveals himself, the whole world will follow him. The whole world will be deceived by him. As a matter of fact, he is a great deceiver. His job is to deceive. So he's setting up a system of deception.
Before he's not going to pop up without him already having a system of deception in place. So he's deceiving you now. You don't have to see the Antichrist to be deceived by him. You're deceived by the system he's setting up, because he's going to take over a system. He's going to take over a kingdom that was given to him by men who have pledged their allegiance to Lucifer, say amen, for the riches and control of this world. Once they get this world in the chaotic condition that Satan or darkness needs to manifest in, they will give their power to the beast, which is what the Bible says. Are y'all there or not there? So what we see in society is everything is going towards darkness. Everything is going, matter of fact, it's getting so bad that right is wrong. Right is now wrong. What was once considered right in your conscience is now wrong. Why? Because in order for Satan to come, it has to be chaos. In order for the Bible says the son of perdition to come, there must be a great falling away. That means people who once believed in this gospel have to fall away. And we see this great falling away now. Churches are falling, whole denominations are falling away. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Why? Because the system, the stage has to be set for this beast to come, this Antichrist to come. He can't come as long as there's so much light. He has to persecute this light until there's almost utter darkness. So people will be in darkness. When people are in darkness, they will receive any light, even if it's fake. Are y'all there or not there? So he's using his weapons. The Bible says Satan is the prince and power of the airways. Say the air. He's the prince and power of communication. Airways mean communication. That means however you receive communication, whether it be TV, which is the number one thing. Now the internet is the number one thing. Books, anything that you receive communication from, Satan is behind it. That's the reason why these big companies are buying up everything. Big companies are buying up other companies. Time Warner's getting bought up by Comcast. Everybody's trying to buy up, because at the top of these companies are men who are part of an elite group. Y'all wanted me to get into this or not? Are part of an elite group that are basically are chosen to create the atmosphere for this son of perdition or the Antichrist to show up in. Are y'all there? This is why everything you see in media is always negative, and it's hypersexual, and you have to almost be on pills to understand it. A normal-minded person looks at some of this stuff and say, "This don't even make sense." But because they have dumbed down and riddlenized, if that's even a word, riddlenized this generation, that they understand this foolishness. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are y'all there? Let me take you here for a second, because I want to give you some foundation. The way this chosen group communicate is the same way they communicated in Egypt and Babylon. When you see the hieroglyphs of Egypt, those symbols were words, they meant something. It's a language. Y'all got what I'm saying? It's a symbol language that you don't need to speak. You can just see the symbol and you know what it means. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So the way that this group speaks, they could be Freemasons, they could be Illuminati, you can name a whole lot of them, they're all under the same thing. But the way they speak through symbols. Because if you're not a part of their order, you don't see the symbol. It means nothing to you. But they understand when they see the symbol. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Like the symbol, let's use the eye in the pyramid. Well, they know what that symbol means. On the back of your dollar, there's the symbol right there. Now all your life, even as a child, you looked at that and didn't know what it meant. It looked weird. It was a little scary when I first saw it when I was little. I knew it had some significance, but I didn't understand it. As I began to study, as I got older, I found out that pyramid is an unfinished pyramid, and the base of that pyramid is these committees and groups that are all created, that are all using this listen to me, this supernatural knowledge that they've gotten from darkness to build this platform so the all-seeing eye or the enlightened one, which they call Lucifer, which is now Satan, can come and set on that pyramid. The Bible calls him the beast, that these kings give their power to the beast. So they're building a system. That's what that pyramid on the back of your dollar is. America was chosen to be the land, let me tell you, of the Antichrist. Now, if you go back and study in American history, they keep trying to make the founding fathers Christian. And that's a lie. Because if you study it out, they were deists. Many of them were part of the Hellfire Club, which was just a pedophile ring. Benjamin Franklin and them, they was part of that Hellfire Club where they went under the ground and had sex with kids. See, we don't know that stuff. But they made them Christian because they always whitewash history to make it look
gotta pull it backwards.
Good.
I think. Right?
Looking back on it, it looks good. Okay, let me help you. The truth gets swallowed up in revisionism. And what do I mean by that?
You're saying?
If you ever study, let me give you something real quick. If you've ever studied 9/11, just say 9/11. Just study 9/11. And these planes that flew into the building. If you study this out, you know, if you look at all that up there, ain't no possible way that could have happened. I know but there ain't no possible way. Steel, airplane fuel cannot melt steel. No matter what you say, that building would have never failed. If it would have failed, it would have fell over. It wouldn't have fell down like an explosion, like a demolition. Ain't no way it happened.
Now, can you see?
Come on.
Look.
But because of this predictable programming, they say the same thing over and over and over until what you keep hearing becomes the official story. Come on. Even though your eyes can see, even though your mind knows, even though experts will tell you, demolition experts say no building can ever fall like that. But we still believe that the greatest defense system in the world, nine cats with box cutters, when we can't get nowhere near a plane, can get on a plane and take it over. But we believe that's the official story. Why? That's what we were told over and over and over. Now, the unofficial story is that couldn't have happened that way. But we're not told that over and over. So that sounds foreign. We've been conditioned to believe that, the lie of that.
Not really.
Because in reality, are y'all there? In reality, they saw that, if you really study it, didn't no plane even hit the Pentagon. I'm trying to show you how we're bewitched. There was no plane there. You remember the flight that went down in Pennsylvania? There was no parts of a plane. It was a hole in the ground with no parts. Now, that was a plane that just crashed over in Malaysia, over the Ukraine, right? Did you see the plane crash? Was it a plane there? What happened to the plane that crashed, that went off course in I think it was in Pennsylvania? It was a hole in the ground with no debris, no engine, nothing just disintegrates. The Pentagon had a hole about this big, and they found out it was a missile that did it. But the official story is that, what was it, 9 or 12 hijackers with box cutters took 3 planes and flew them took over the greatest defense system in the world. That, did you know, within 5 minutes, a fighter jet can be anywhere in this country? But these planes went off course for almost 30 minutes and no jet came. Come on, y'all got this. Now I'm not trying to even get into that. I'm trying to show you how something that doesn't make sense has become your truth. That when we talk about it, you heard the same story over. Listen to me, that's called predictive programming. Are y'all there? Let me show you some other things, because it's happening to us all the time. We don't see it. It's a known fact that Hollywood has always been in the bed with the Defense Department. Hollywood always and the Defense Department go hand in hand, because the Defense Department likes the weapons and the movies about the weapons, because it conditions the people for war. It conditions the people for war. This is the reason why you think there's a real battle with Jews and Arabs. You think that. But it really wasn't that. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? So Hollywood puts out movies to condition you to agree with an agenda down the road. Case in point, The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is a movie that's conditioning people to accept elite control. That's what that movie was about. That they're going to be a peasant class and they're going to be a ruling class. And you've been conditioned through all of these latest movies, this dystopian future where it's an elite class ruling and there's a peasant class. That's all you see in these movies lately. Why? Because there's programming you to accept this. Because this is the will of the New World Order. This is the will of the elite. They want you to accept the fact that you're going to be a peasant in the future. And this goes along with the Bible because they're creating a system where the Bible says you can't buy or sell except you have their mark in your hand or your forehead. They're even conditioning you to accept the mark. That's why people are getting tattoos now on their foreheads and in places where they wasn't getting them. I don't care what they're getting them there. It's conditioning. It don't matter what it is. It's the fact that they're putting stuff in their forehead and on their right hand. They're being conditioned for these marks. Are y'all there?
That's Minister Darby A5. I gotta get dressed. I'm about to go grocery shopping real quick. So I gotta get the fam some food, and then when I come back, I'll if you want me to 5, just hit me. Well, I think you got my Twitter or whatever. If you got my Twitter, I'm pretty sure you do. Just hit me up on Twitter, and then you know what I'm saying, when I get back, I'll start it back up from here. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to listen to this shit. So yeah, just let me know. Hit my line, or just leave a comment underneath the whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'll when I get back, I'll start it up again. I'll leave it right here and start it up again. But yeah, for now I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna have to go grocery shopping real quick. You already see it. I'm 9-0. Oh shit! Hold up. Shit. Back up. Yeah, 9-0. Easy. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Everybody hit that like button, sub up if you're new. You already know what to do. Yeah.